Good morning, good evening, everyone. This is Toybox, and today I wanted to cover the Fur Affinity drama, the hacks that have been going on, what happened with Dragoneer, and just all that sort of stuff. So, for those of you that don't know already, or don't know yet, Dragoneer was the owner of Fur Affinity, and I believe the creator of Fur Affinity, who sadly passed away, earlier this year. I think it was earlier this month, actually. It was something to do, I was reading a news article, something to do with issues with his lungs, and whether he passed away because he wasn't getting the treatment, or whether it was because his conditioning was worsening. I don't know why I said worsening like that. Either way, it's a really, really sad event that happened here in the fandom. And I personally didn't use Fur Affinity that much, or really at all, but I realized the impact that it made on this community and how much that website mattered to people. And it's just really heartbreaking seeing that the creator of it passed away. It's being put into new hands, and hopefully those new hands will make things better. They'll keep Fur Affinity good. They won't mess it up like Elon did with Twitter. I have faith in them that they'll do a good job, that Fur Affinity will be exactly as it's meant to be. But what really got me about his death was the bills to pay. The expensive as hell medical bills that he had to pay. Because for some reason, the US healthcare system just has to be so goddamn special. We just have to pay ass loads of money. And it's getting to a point, honestly, where people, if they're on the road dying, they would rather just sit there and die than have to pay the money or have someone call an ambulance and have to pay those medical bills. It's getting to a point where either you don't pay it and you die, or you pay it and you go broke. Because a lot of Americans don't really have the financial resources to pay for these medical bills. They are extremely expensive. And I think that's partly what caused the death of Dragoneer, was these expensive medical bills that maybe they weren't able to pay off. And that really, really infuriates me. The fact that a life could have been saved, but the US healthcare system just has to be so greedy. It is genuinely infuriating. And it didn't get much better from there. Very, very recently, I think within the last week or two, the Fur Affinity Twitter account and the website both were hacked by anti-furs. And this user had this to say about it. You can pause there to read. But I didn't think that it could get any worse than it already did with the owner passing away. But there are just some really awful things that the hackers were saying, because they hacked the Twitter and the actual website, which I said before. And they were saying some awful things on the Twitter. Like, here are some of the things they were saying: calling Dragoneer a pedophile, calling all furries pedophiles, just all this disgusting, dirty behavior, this just really just hateful things that they were saying that, like, oh, 80% of the fandom is pedophiles, that, oh, we turn a blind eye to the pedophiles, when actually we don't. Some of us actually seek out the pedophiles in the community, and when we find them, we try and get justice, not only for the person who did it. We want them to go to jail. We want them to get punished in some way, shape, or form, but also for the victim as well. We do not stand with pedophiles. We actively push them out of our community and let the world know, hey, this person's a pedophile. If we were all about pedophiles, if we were all about, okay, let's say, like, oh, we welcome pedophiles, we turn a blind eye to it, then stuff like carpet samples and glitch we wouldn't have pushed them out, but we did, because they're horrible people, and we don't want those people in our community. We have never wanted those people in our community, and those who do want them are pushed out with the others. We don't support that kind of behavior. We will never support that kind of behavior. And they say they have proof that Dragoneer is a pedophile, but they didn't show any proof that he was. And if there is any proof, I can probably guarantee that it's complete bullshit. They don't have proof that he is a pedophile. That's just that. They don't. If they did, they would have posted proof. They would have posted any kind of proof that they had that he was a pedophile, but they never did. And that's just so pathetic. I mean, you're saying like, oh, most of you guys are 37. That's just sad. You're out here hacking a furry Twitter account, saying all these disgusting things, thinking that you're going to shut us down, that, oh, if we keep just saying mean things to you guys, that eventually you guys will never exist anymore. But no. Just like with the LGBT community, you can keep pushing us down for as long as you want, but we're going to keep rising up. We're never going to submit to your just disgusting behavior. You can say that we're all these horrible things, but we know what we are. We all know what we are. We all know who we are. And we're just going to say, you know what, you can say this, but no, I know that I'm not that. And it's just really, really disgusting seeing all these things happening. The issue, thankfully, did get resolved, I believe. So the FurAffinity website is back up and running, I believe. Don't quote me on that. If it's not, then I'll put something here. And if it is, then there will be nothing. But what happened with the website itself was the URL was changed. So the link would look like it was going to FurAffinity, but in fact it was going to a completely different website. And that was just, I can only imagine just like the panic with people, the terror of, we don't know if we're going to get these things back. How are we going to reverse it? How are we going to take care of this? Like all the damage that was done, how are we going to fix this? And it's going to be quite a bit of work to do to fix any damages that have been done. But it's definitely possible, and I know that we will strive to fix what has been broken. We've always been about that. I genuinely find it so disgusting that human beings are capable of treating each other like shit because they hear one thing and they apply it to a majority of a group, or they just don't like a certain person for whatever reason, and they just don't like a certain group for whatever reason, and so they go and do just horrible shit like this. It's just, the stuff that human beings are capable of doing is just so monstrous. It's so just deplorable. I mean, you're out here calling us sad. You're hacking a furry Twitter account and trying to post all this shit, thinking that you're doing something, but you're not doing anything. It's you against the entire community, and you're gonna lose. Hell, even with the whole gas thing, you thought that you could tear us down? That, oh, now furry conventions won't exist anymore. Oh, next time it does it, we're gonna do it again. You think that you can just break us apart like that? That all of a sudden we're just gonna be like, alright guys, we can't be furries anymore, it's too dangerous, we just can't do it. Like, no, we're gonna be there for each other and protect each other because that's what we're about. We're not just gonna abandon each other. We're not just gonna sit here and abandon each other. We're gonna stick together and we're going to help each other out. Whether that's a furry Twitter getting hacked or another gassing at a furry convention. And I like how they call us the pedophiles, but yet you look into these people, and it turns out that the person that they are, or maybe even the person that they follow, the whole like group they're a part of, is a huge pedophile ring. Like, huge pedophile ring. I think I was reading back up, like way back in the day, the people who did the gas thing at the furry convention. I think the like leader of that group turned out to be a pedophile and was thankfully punished for it. But yet they still would they still would be like, oh yeah, he's a pedophile, but you guys, and they'd point the finger at us. And that's all these people do, is you can call them out for their shit, but then they'll say, oh, you do the same thing. And yeah, there are pedophiles in the furry community. That I won't deny that. There are pedophiles. And there are pedophiles in every group. No matter what group you're part of, there are pedophiles. And some of those groups do something, others just sit by and let it happen. But we're not that group. We don't just sit by and just let it happen. We try and seek these people out. People who draw cub stuff. For those who don't know what cub is, just ignorance is bliss. I'll say that much. The people who draw cub, we don't welcome those people to the fandom. We don't welcome those people to the community. We shun them away. We're just like, no, you draw this stuff, you're into that, you're sick, you're twisted, get out. Because we don't like that sort of stuff. It's wrong. It's very wrong. People who draw cub, like, we're like, no, we're not, just get out of here. You're not going to do that. Not in this place, not in this community. We don't want that sort of shit here. So we push them away. And you say that 80% of furries are pedophiles, but you didn't show proof for that either. And if you did, it wouldn't be for the entire furry community. You would only be showing us known furry pedophiles. Because that's all these people do, is they don't show people the entire community. They only show people, hey, here are some known furry pedophiles, there's your proof. Yeah, those are known furry pedophiles, but that does not make up the majority at all. And I can't. It's just so infuriating trying to argue with these people or fight against it, because all they do is just run you in circles. Their whole goal is to tire you out so that way you have nothing to say, and then they feel like they have full control over the argument and the conversation. That's all these people do. That's their entire goal, is what to do. And it's just really, really sad and pathetic. I mean, just like, I take death very seriously, I'd say. And to be just so degrading to someone who passed away, someone who made a really big impact on a community as a whole, to degrade that person and call them all these horrible things, that is a whole other level of disrespect I won't even get into in this video. That is just so disrespectful and so messed up. I mean, again, look at the things they were saying about him, about Dragoneer, and then look at the things they were saying about just furries as a whole. It's disgusting. If you have proof that 80% of furries are pedophiles, or if you have proof that Dragoneer was a pedophile, then show us the proof, the legit proof. Don't just come up with some half-assed thing. Show us the actual proof. And don't just show us a list of known furry pedophiles. Show us, like, okay, we took a majority of furries and then we did this survey. That's how it's done. I can't go like, oh, most men are, like, all men are serial killers. How do I know this? Because these guys were serial killers. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. You don't have proof. And your proof is just some half-assed bullshit thing that you came up with last minute. And again, we're going to call you guys out. I'm sure that maybe we'll find out that, hey, some of these people themselves are these pedophiles. And they're just going to deflect that and say, well, we are, but you're also that. Which the difference is, yeah, again, there are furry pedophiles. There are pedophiles in this community, but we are actively seeking those people out and calling for justice for those people, especially for the victims. We want justice for the victims. We want those people out of the community. They are not welcome here. I'm hoping that things won't always be like this, but I have a strong feeling that they will be, because human beings just can't agree with each other on anything. And it's a sad truth, but it's the truth nonetheless. Human beings just we can't agree to hold hands together and just agree that we're all human beings. that we're all living on this one planet. As to Dragoneer, the passing was sad. I teared up when I read that, and when I found out that their life could have been saved, that really just broke me completely. May Dragoneer's soul rest in peace, and may the people who hacked the account, who hacked the website, may they be punished in some way, shape, or form. Any way, shape, or form. And to us, to the community, we have to stay strong during times like these. That's all we can do. Stay strong and just be there for each other and help each other out as best as we can. I know we can do it. And I love you all, purely and genuinely. With all that said, I hope that you all have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening.